Hi, welcome to the video. I actually did have a different video planned for this week, but that kind of concept plan sort of thing has fallen through for factors outside of my control, so I have to delay that video I was going to make. So we are doing another writing challenge. Surprise! Yay! Surprise! Fireworks, fanfare. It is going to be a much more approachable challenge than the last one I tackled. I think I got a bit cocky and overconfident, and I was humbled by the last challenge I attempted. So I want to do something that's a lot easier. Some might say this challenge is too easy. But what I'm going to do is write for 10 minutes a day for a week and see how much I get done. So come with me on a week in my life where I write for only 10 minutes a day and attempt to see how that goes. Today it is Thursday. It's currently just after 12. I've just had lunch and we are going to write for 10 minutes. Now, a lot of my habits that I use to get myself into writing feel a little stupid when I set them up for only 10 minutes. Like I use Forest, the tree planting app, and the minimum that you can plant a tree for in Forest is 10 minutes. I use the countdown, it's not countdown, it's like the timer feature, so it counts up, so it goes for however long I want. But if I don't go for 10 minutes, I get a withered tree, so it needs to be 10 minutes. And then also the other thing I do with my writing routine is I light my trusty project candle, Carol Edna, and it does feel also a little silly lighting a candle for only 10 minutes, but I am going to do it this week. I really am interested to see how much I get done in a week of writing for 10 minutes. My writing routine is kind of my regular routine is kind of a rotating list of tasks, writing being one of them. So every time I get to the writing task, I write, which means I don't always end up writing every day. But this week I will, and we will see. My prediction for how much I get done is maybe 7 days, 70 minutes. Maybe 1,200 words total. Come back to the end of the video to see if that ends up panning out. I am also concerned about another drawback of this challenge, obviously, is it takes time to get into the mindset and headspace of writing, and it takes time to form sentences. And 10 minutes is not a lot of time, and sometimes it can take 10 minutes to get into a writing session, to get, the first sentences flowing. So obviously this week I'm going to be up against that challenge of having to start quickly and kind of go with whatever my first impulse is. But yeah, that's enough jammering. I should probably tell you what I'm working on. I am still on, I don't know, maybe I should call it something like Project Travel. Project Travel, is that a good project name? As I'm 49,000 words in and we're only just coming up with a project name. This is really sad, but up until now it's been Project Untitled. It's contemporary fiction. It's follows a group trip and a tour guide, and a lot of things go wrong. That's the gist of what I'm working on. And it doesn't have a title. As I said, 49,000 words in. So we should, in theory, hit 50,000 words sometime this week. But we'll see when that happens, or if that happens. Stay tuned, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna start now. Okay, here is the result after 10 minutes. 179 words. So I did like Carol Edna, so let's use our trusty candle putter outer. Oh, there's a hair on it. How did that get there? Probably from my hair tie that sits on the counter. Okay. Ooh. Okay. There's something liberating about only having to work for 10 minutes. It's so like approachable. Like you don't have that resistance because it's just 10 minutes. It's so, so simple. But yeah, I think this challenge is going to be fun. I'm kind of jazzed and excited to do this one. I kind of have a vague plan that I will experiment with different lengths of time, because I don't think your writing process should be one and done kind of routine where you implement something and then you keep it the same for the rest of existence. I think that's kind of if you do it that way, you never know what your limits are, how much you can stretch yourself, and what you can do in different lengths of time and with different goals and that kind of thing. So yeah, I think this is going to be fun, and I don't know whether there'll be any more updates today. What do I have planned? I'm going to practice some piano, do some cleaning. Is vacuuming content something you want to see? No, I'm kidding. And yeah, I will get back to you tomorrow with another round of this, and we will see how the week goes. Here is the vacuum cleaner content that is definitely not at all cleaning procrastination. Running shoes on, ready to go die. Kind of need to vacuum in here as well, to be honest. I fear I may have slightly cursed myself talking about how manageable and, doable and approachable this challenge was yesterday, because today I am not feeling poppity, I'm not feeling buzzy, I'm just feeling like a slug. And it is hard to get myself to start, but that is the point of this video. The point of this video is to do things. So we are just going to the goal is 10 words today. We're just going to try and get 10 words, and that will be good enough, and then we can move on. 10 words in 10 minutes. Let's go. Okay, I'm kind of surprised by this, but we have 15 more words than 30 more words than yesterday. And time to put out Carol Edna. I had to resort to the baby matches today because the big ones I had run out of. But I still got her lit. She is the angel candle. Okay, 205 words in 10 minutes when I was expecting maybe 10. That just shows you should start on days when you don't feel like it. Yeah, I was thinking towards the end, I wonder what my record's going to be for the week, but we will have to wait and see what that ends up being. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of I feel like I accomplished something, even though it was just 10 minutes, because I managed to finish a scene I'd been writing for several days. And a chapter. I started a new chapter as well. So yeah, it feels like I made some progress today, which I wouldn't have expected at the start of today. So thankful for that. Okay. I don't know whether there'll be clips of other stuff. I don't know whether I'll actually do anything else today that'll be worthy of showing you, but I guess you'll see that before I will. Or I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, till then. Carol is lit. Let's get writing. Okay, here is the damage. We went a little over today, but we got to 217 words. Getting very close to 50,000 now. Time to put out Carol Edna. Oh, she's really not going out today. There we are. Okay, day 4 down. See you tomorrow for day 5. One of the things I am finding consistently about this challenge is that even though it's 10 minutes, and 10 minutes is not a lot of time, like it is still an effort, like there is still a tiny bit of resistance to starting. So I guess if you've watched this far into the video, I just want to remind you, like if you're struggling to start things, like that is a totally normal fact of human existence. Like that's a totally normal reality of writing a long form project, to have mental resistance to starting it. And even in this challenge where I'm only writing for 10 minutes a day for a whole week, I am coming to day 5 and I'm like, oh, another day. Like, oh, you know, this is effort. So I hope that is some comfort to you if, you know, the reason you're watching this video is because you're on struggle street with your own particular project. Me too. I also have this growing kind of sense of like, because I'm only writing for a short amount of time, I'm only getting a little bit done. So I'm kind of conscious of the fact that I'm not sure how well these like half puzzle pieces are going to come together when I read over them. Because obviously when you write for a longer amount of time, you're forming a bigger puzzle piece in the overall work that you're trying to contribute to. Whereas I'm only getting really half a, or sometimes like a quarter of a scene out in this amount of time. So I'm not sure how well these individual pieces are going to string together. But yeah, that's just kind of a reality of writing in this way. I think you probably could, like you definitely could do a whole novel in this way, but I'm not sure whether for me, like it would ultimately require more editing because the pieces were disjointed from one another, if that makes sense. Anyway, I'm gonna get to starting. Okay, here's the result. 229 words, and we are over 50,000. Woohoo! I think 1,000 words in 50 minutes is pretty good time. You know it's gonna be a good writing day when the rain is just dripping away. Oh. Okay, my timer has unfortunately disappeared, but this is the day 6 result. I think this might be a high of the entire challenge. I did go, like, it is hard to stop exactly on 10 minutes. Like, you do end up going like 30 seconds over usually. But yeah. And just like that, there is one day of this challenge remaining. Oh, that feels like, I don't know, the week has gone by pretty quickly. I am sitting at maybe 1,300 words written. I have to do the math. I haven't added up all the days yet. But I'm hopeful about maybe getting close to a 1,500 by tomorrow, 1,500 words for the week, which, you know, it's not, it's like 1.5 of my usual writing sessions, so it's not a bad result, even though I've spent a very limited amount of time this week. But I guess you'll have to stay tuned tomorrow and my wrap up to see what the final result is. I'll see you then. Welcome to the last day of the challenge. I always feel like when I do these weekly things that a lot of time passes and not much time passes at the same time. I don't know how that makes sense, but it kind of feels like at the end of the week there's a lot of days that have gone by, but yeah, with this challenge in particular, it hasn't felt too taxing or that I've done particularly a lot of work, but there is a possibility that I could hit 1,500 words written today in the week, so that is not a bad week of writing for the amount of time I've spent. And I am picking someone up from the hospital today, so I want to get this done quickly before I have to go and do that. So I'm gonna jump right in and get writing. Okay, the time is still counting up. I swear I stopped it, but anyway. And we have 241 words written, so that is the end of the challenge. Time to put out Carolyn. Oh, Carolyn has gone out on her own. Oh, what a rebel. Okay, that is the end of the challenge and also the end of this video. For those of you curious, the word count total was 1,528 words for the week. So kind of pretty good considering it was only 70 minutes of writing, really. Pretty good pace. And I did get faster throughout the week. Today was my last day and it was the highest word count with 241 words. So yeah, I hope this video has provided a little bit of inspiration if you're struggling to make time for your own writing projects. Maybe you feel you can see this and feel like, yeah, I can give something 10 minutes a day, even if it's just for one day, and I will make a small amount of progress towards completing it. And that is something to be proud of. That is, you know, anytime you give yourself the space and time to work on a creative project, I think it's, you know, brave and wonderful and all the good things. So sending you good writing vibes. And I will see you next week for my August wrap up, where I talk about the progress I made in August and all the things I read and all of that. So till then, thank you for watching. Goodbye.